Sam Donovan stood at the front desk of the Westwood Inn, a small boutique hotel tucked away from the busy streets of Los Angeles. He checked his watch and sighed. It was almost midnight, and his shift would end soon. After 7 years of managing this hotel, he knew the late-night routine by heart. Check the reservations for tomorrow, make sure the night staff was ready, and then head home to his small apartment where his cat Pixel would be waiting. Sam was 32 years old with brown hair that always fell across his forehead no matter how many times he pushed it back. He had studied hospitality management at college and never planned to do anything else. Hotels were his comfort zone. He liked the order, the systems, and most of all, he liked helping people without being the center of attention. "Excuse me, is Nancy around tonight?" a voice asked. Sam looked up to see Paul Green, a regular guest who worked as a casting director for a Summit Entertainment. Paul often stayed at the hotel when scouting talent in this part of town. "I'm afraid she's off tonight. Can I help you with something?" Sam asked. Todd Paul ran his hand through his silver-streaked hair. "Well, maybe. We just lost an assistant on set for our new film." "Nancy mentioned you once worked in event planning before hotel management." Sam nodded. "For about 2 years during college. How do you feel about a temporary job?" 6 weeks, good pay, and it might be a nice change of pace. We need someone organized who can stay calm under pressure." Sam opened his mouth to politely decline. He had a comfortable life, stable job, a routine. But then he remembered his conversation with his sister last Sunday. "You'd never try anything new, Sam. When was the last time you took a risk?" "What's the film?" Sam heard himself asking. "The Day the Earth Stood Still," remake of the classic. Keanu Reeves is starring. 2 days later, Sam walked onto a film set for the first time. The production coordinator, Judy, handed him a clipboard, an earpiece, and a stern look. "Don't talk to the actors unless they talk to you first. Don't take photos. Don't ask for autographs. Your job is to be invisible but essential." "Got it?" Sam nodded. This wasn't so different from hotel work. Be helpful, be discreet, anticipate needs before they're expressed. The first 2 days went smoothly. Sam delivered messages, organized transportation schedules, and made sure the right people were in the right places at the right times. He learned quickly and stayed out of the way. No one seemed to notice him, which was exactly how he liked it. On the 3rd day, disaster struck. Sam was carrying 6 coffee cups on a cardboard tray across the set. The director had asked for a specific type of coffee from a shop 15 minutes away. Sam had gone, returned, and was now carefully navigating through cables and equipment. When someone backed into him, time seemed to slow down. The coffee cups tilted. Sam tried to correct, but it was too late. Dark liquid arced through the air, landing with a splatter on a stack of papers on a nearby chair. Papers with highlighted lines. Script, and sitting next to that chair, watching the entire incident with calm eyes, was Keanu Reeves. "I'm so sorry," Sam said, his face burning hot with embarrassment. This was it. He was going to be fired on his 3rd day, but Keanu just stood up and grabbed some napkins from a nearby table. "No worries," he said, blotting the script. "These things happen." "I'll get you a new script right away," Sam said, already turning to find Judy. "This one's still readable," Keanu said. Most of it missed the important parts. He looked at Sam with a small smile. "Mercury must be in retrograde or something." Sam blinked, surprised by the response. He'd expected anger, or at least irritation. Instead, Keanu seemed genuinely unbothered. "Let me at least get you a fresh coffee," Sam offered. "That would be great, thanks." When Sam returned with a new coffee, Keanu had moved to a different area, but waved him over. "What's your name?" he asked. Sam Donovan." "Thanks, Sam." He took the coffee with a nod. The next morning, Judy approached Sam with a frown. "Linda, Mr. Reeves' personal assistant has called in sick. Food poisoning." Sam winced. "That's rough." "Yeah, well, here's the rougher part. The director wants you to fill in today." "Me, but I just started. And after yesterday's coffee incident, apparently Mr. Reeves specifically asked for you." Said you seemed capable. She handed him a new clipboard. Don't make me regret this. The day was a blur. Sam followed Keanu from makeup to rehearsal. 2. Shooting, taking notes on preferences, making calls, and running errands. Keanu was filming a complex scene where his character, an alien named Klaatu, had to convey both otherworldly detachment and growing human connection. Between takes, he would close his eyes, seemingly retreating into himself. Sam made sure no one disturbed him during these moments. He quietly redirected crew members, created a bubble of calm around the actor. During lunch, he noticed Keanu barely touched his food, too focused on the afternoon scene, without being asked. Arranged for simple snacks to be available. Nuts, fruit, things that could be eaten quickly between takes. He also made sure there was always fresh water within reach. At the end of the day, Keanu approached him. You're good at this, he said simply. Just treating you how I'd want to be treated if I had your job, Sam replied. Keanu tilted his head. Slightly, and what do you think my job is? Question caught Sam off guard. Well, to transform into someone else while dozens of people watch you do it. That seems hard enough without having to worry about the small stuff. A look of interest crossed Keanu's face. Most people just see the glamour or the fame. Sam shrugged. I work in a hotel. I know the difference between what guests see and what happens behind the scenes. When Linda returned the next day, Sam expected to go back to his regular production. Assistant duties. Instead, the director pointed to him during morning briefing. You coffee guy. You're with Keanu again today. Linda's being moved to help Jennifer. One day turned into a week. Linda was permanently reassigned, and Sam found himself becoming Keanu's default assistant. They developed an easy rhythm. Sam learned that Keanu preferred quiet in the morning, that he liked to read between scenes, and that despite his fame, he treated every crew member with the same respect. From the director to the janitor, when filming wrapped after 6 weeks, Sam prepared to return to his hotel job. He'd already called Nancy and arranged to come back the following Monday. But during the wrap party, Keanu approached him. What's next for you, Sam? He asked. Back to the hotel. My old boss is holding my position. Keanu nodded, considering this. And if I offered you something else? Sam looked at him, confused. What do you mean? I need a personal assistant, someone who understands the balance between work and privacy. Someone who notices what needs to be done without being told. He paused. Someone who doesn't treat me like I'm anything special. But you are, Sam said before he could stop himself. I mean, you're Keanu Reeves? That's just a name people know? I'm looking for someone who sees the person, not the name. He handed Sam a business card. Think about it. Call this number by Friday if you're interested. Sam stood there, card in hand, watching as Keanu moved through the crowd, stopping to thank every department personally for their work. The card felt heavy in his fingers, like it contained more weight than just a phone number. On Thursday night, Sam sat in his apartment, looking at his cat and the business card on the coffee table. What do you think, Pixel? Should I step into a completely different world? The cat blinked slowly at him. On Friday morning, Sam called the number. By Monday, he had given notice at the hotel. By the end of the month, he had packed up his apartment and moved Pixel to a new place closer to Keanu's home. What was meant to be a temporary job had changed the course of Sam's life. The quiet hotel manager had become the personal assistant to one of Hollywood's most famous and enigmatic stars. Neither of them knew then that this accidental partnership would last 7 years, or that 15 years later, their story would captivate millions for reasons neither could have imagined. People in Hollywood started calling Sam Donovan the Shadow by 2010. For 2 years, he had been by Keanu Reeves' side, always present but never noticed. Sam moved quietly through film sets, meetings, and public events. He was there to make sure. Everything went smoothly for Keanu, but few people outside their small circle knew his name or face. Sam liked it that way. His job was not to be seen, but to see everything. He watched for problems before they happened. He remembered names Keanu might forget. He carried extra pens, phone chargers, and breath mints. He knew which reporters asked fair questions and which ones tried to trick Keanu into saying something they could twist later. On a cold morning in January 2011, Sam arrived at Keanu's house at 5:30 a.m. They were preparing for the first day of shooting a new movie. Sam had already packed Keanu's favorite tea, arranged for a car service, and confirmed the day's schedule with the production team. Keanu opened the door looking tired but ready. "Morning, Sam," he said, taking the travel mug of hot tea Sam offered. Did you check about that charity thing?" Sam nodded. "Yes, I verified the children's hospital request. It's legitimate. They're hoping you can record a short video message for the kids in the cancer ward. No press, no publicity." "Let's do it this weekend," Keanu said. "Set it up, please." This was one of the things Sam admired most about his boss. Keanu never sought attention for his good deeds. In fact, he preferred that no one knew about them at all. Over the years, Sam had helped arrange millions of dollars in donations to children's hospitals, cancer research, and other charities. All anonymous, all without fanfare. The car arrived and they drove to the set in comfortable silence. After 2 years working together, they didn't need to fill the air with words. Sam checked his phone, sorting through emails and messages that had come in overnight. He answered the ones he could handle himself and marked the ones Keanu needed to see. "The motorcycle shop called," Sam said as they neared the studio. "Your Norton is ready. Can pick it up tomorrow while you're in that costume fitting." Keanu's eyes lit up. He loved his motorcycles. "Thanks. Maybe we can ride this weekend after the hospital thing." "I'll check the weather," Sam replied, already making a mental note to reschedule Keanu's Saturday haircut appointment. On set, Sam stayed out of the way but always with an eyesight of Keanu. He learned to read his boss's expressions. It's like Keanu. Tightening around the eyes meant Keanu needed a break soon. A tap of his fingers against his leg meant he wanted to review his lines again. Without words, Sam would appear with water, the script, or simply create a moment of quiet in the chaos of filming. During lunch breaks, they sometimes sat together away from the rest of the crew. Keanu might read passages from a book of poetry or philosophy. Sam would listen and occasionally ask questions. These quiet moments balanced the hectic pace of their work life. "Do you miss the hotel?" Keanu asked one day, as they ate sandwiches on a bench outside the studio. Sam thought about it. "Sometimes I miss the routine, the predictability. But this job, it's never boring." Keanu smiled. That's one way to put it. In 2012, they traveled to Japan for Keanu to film 47 Ronin. Sam spent the months before learning basic Japanese phrases. He wanted to be able to thank people properly, ask for directions, and understand simple conversations. The film's production was challenging, with long days and cultural differences to navigate. Sam worked hard to make things easier for Keanu. From arranging comfortable housing to finding the foods he liked. One night in Tokyo, after a particularly difficult day of shooting, Keanu found Sam still awake at 2 a.m., organizing the next day's schedule. "You should sleep," Keanu said. "Just finishing up," Sam replied, stifling a yawn. Keanu sat down across from him. "You know, most personal assistants in Hollywood quit after a year. The hours are too long. The demand's too great." Sam looked up. "Are you firing me?" Oh, Keanu laughed softly. "I'm thanking you." Not everyone would learn Japanese for a job. "It's just basic phrases," Sam said, feeling his face grow warm. He wasn't used to praise. "Still, you go beyond what's required." Keanu pushed a small box across the table. "I got you something." Inside was a beautiful watch with a simple black face. On the back was an engraving in Japanese characters. "What does it say?" Sam asked. "Reliable shadow," Keanu answered, "because you're always there but never in the way." After returning from Japan, their work routine evolved as Keanu prepared for his role in John Wick. This meant long hours at gun ranges and training with stunt teams. Sam coordinated with trainers, arranged for private sessions, and made sure Keanu had everything he needed to transform into the deadly assassin character. But Sam's most important job remained protecting Keanu's privacy and kindness. The actor had a policy of never refusing an autograph to a genuine fan. Sam became skilled at spotting the difference between real fans and people who just wanted to sell signatures online. He created a buffer between Keanu and the constant demands of fame. When paparazzi followed them, Sam would step into their line of sight, accidentally blocking photos. When people tried to record private conversations, Sam would politely but firmly redirect them. He became Keanu's gatekeeper, shield, and sometimes his voice when the actor didn't want to say no directly. In early 2013, young fan with cancer reached out through social media, hoping to meet his hero. Sam verified the request and arranged everything. Keanu spent an entire afternoon with the boy, talking about movies, playing video games, answering endless questions. No cameras were allowed, no publicity followed. Sam made sure of that. Afterward, Keanu quietly donated money to cover the boy's experimental treatment. He asked Sam to handle the paperwork and keep his name out of it. "Why do you do this?" Sam asked as they drove home. "All these good things that no one ever knows about?" Keanu looked out the window for a long moment. "Because the act itself matters, not who knows about it." He turned to Sam. "Fame is a strange thing. People think they know you when they don't. They project what they want onto you. But real connections, real help offered to others, that's something true." Their days fell into a rhythm. Early mornings reviewing schedules. Days filled with work, meetings, filming, or training. Evenings winding down with books, occasional motorcycle rides along empty roads, or simple meals. Through it all, Sam remained the constant shadow, anticipating needs, solving problems, keeping the world at a respectful distance. They developed a shorthand communication that required few words. A nod, a glance, a raised eyebrow could convey complete thoughts between them. Film crews often commented on how they seemed to communicate telepathically. "You two are like an old married couple," a director once joked. "Except I don't have to." "Share the closet space," Sam replied, making Keanu laugh. By 2015, they'd been working together for 7 years. 7 years of early mornings and late nights. 7 years of protecting Keanu's privacy while helping him navigate fame. 7 years of watching one of Hollywood's biggest stars live with genuine humility and kindness. What neither of them knew was that their greatest challenge was about to begin. Challenge that would test Sam's loyalty, creativity, and determination. To shield his boss from the harsh spotlight of unwanted attention. Sam's phone rang at 5:17 a.m. on a Tuesday in March 2015. He was already awake, preparing for an early meeting with Keanu's publicist. The number on the screen wasn't one he recognized, but as Keanu's assistant, he answered all calls. "This is Sam." "Donovan," he said, his voice professional despite the early hour. "Mr. Donovan, my name is Alan Porter. I'm a reporter with Celebrity Inside Track magazine." The man's voice had a smug edge that made Sam instantly alert. "I have some interesting information about your boss that I think he might want to keep private." Sam's hand tightened around the phone. "I'm not sure what you're talking about." "I think you do," Alan continued. "I have detailed records of Mr. Reeves' hospital visits over the past 3 years. I know about the children he's visited. I know about the donations. I even have some very personal information about his past tragedies that would make quite a headline." Sam felt cold. Keanu had experienced painful losses in his life. His best friend River Phoenix had died young. His sister had battled leukemia. Most devastating of all, years ago, Keanu had lost his girlfriend and their unborn child. Teeth were wounds that had never fully healed, topics so painful they were never discussed. "What exactly do you want?" Sam asked, keeping his voice steady. "An exclusive interview with Keanu, about everything. Charity work, the hospital visits, the personal stuff, all of it. I get the story first, or it goes to the highest bidder." Alan paused. "You have 3 days to arrange it." The line went dead. Sam sat down, his mind racing. This was exactly the kind of situation he was employed to handle, but it was also the worst threat to Keanu's privacy he had ever faced. He looked at his watch. Keanu was currently in pre-production for John Wick, Chapter 2, and wouldn't be available until evening. This gave Sam time to think, to plan, figure out how to protect his boss from this threat. First, he needed to verify if Alan Porter was telling the truth. Did he really have the information he claimed? Sam spent the morning making careful phone calls to his contacts at the children's hospitals Keanu had visited. Without revealing the threat, he asked if anyone had been asking questions or requesting records. By noon, he had his answer. A hospital administrator at St. Jude's admitted that someone claiming to be doing research for a charitable foundation had requested visitor logs from the past 5 years. The administrator had provided the information, not realizing it would be misused. Sam's next call was to Ben Kelly, a private security consultant they sometimes used for film premieres. "I need to know everything about Alan Porter, reporter at Celebrity Inside Track, and I need it fast," Sam explained. "Is Keanu in danger?" Ben asked. "Not physically, but it's important. I'll call you back within the hour." Awaiting Sam. Prepared for his meeting with Keanu's publicists, Kate. When she arrived at his apartment, he explained the situation. Kate's face grew serious. "This is bad, Sam. Celebrity Inside Track is one of those no-limits tabloids. They'll print anything." "For sales? What are our options?" Sam asked. "Legal action might slow them down, but it won't stop them. It would confirm there's something worth hiding." She tapped her fingers on the table. "We could try to beat them to it. Release some information about the charity work on our terms." Sam shook his head. Keanu would hate that. He's been clear about keeping his charitable work private. His phone rang. It was Ben with information about Alan Porter. "Your reporter has a history," Ben said. 3 harassment complaints, 1 restraining order from an actress he stalked. He was fired from 2 legitimate newspapers before landing at the tabloid. He's desperate for a big story to rebuild his career. "Does he have any weaknesses?" Sam asked. "Apparently, he has a younger sister with cystic fibrosis. He's very protective of her." After hanging up, Sam sat in silence. An idea was forming in his mind, not a threat or a counterattack, but something more in line with Keanu's way of handling things. That evening, when Keanu returned from training, Sam told him everything. Keanu listened without interrupting, his face growing more serious with each detail. When Sam finished, Keanu simply asked, "What do you think we should do?" "I have an idea," Sam said. "But it's not the usual way of handling these things." "I trust your judgment," Keanu replied. The next morning, Sam called Alan Porter. "I've spoken with Mr. Reeves," he said. "He won't be giving an interview. Then I'm running the story," Alan threatened. "Before you do that, there's something you should see. Package will be delivered to your office today. All I ask is that you look at it before making your decision." Sam hung up and put his plan into action. He contacted the family of Lily, a 10-year-old girl whose cancer treatment Keanu had funded the previous year. With their permission, he arranged for them to meet with Alan Porter. The package delivered to Alan's office contained no threats or bribes. It held only a letter explaining who would be visiting him that afternoon and why they wanted to talk to him. At 2 p.m., Lily and her mother arrived at the Celebrity Inside Track offices. For 1 hour, they sat with Alan Porter. No one knows exactly what was said in that meeting, but when they left, Alan's perspective had changed. Sam's phone rang at 4:30 p.m. "I won't run the personal story," Alan said, his voice subdued, "but I still need something for my editor." "I thought you might," Sam replied. "Check your email." Sam had sent over information about anonymous celebrity philanthropy in Hollywood, with quotes from charity directors, but no names of donors. It was a story about generosity without recognition, about helping without seeking praise. Keanu wasn't mentioned once, but his philosophy was evident in every paragraph. 3 days later, Celebrity Inside Track published an article titled "Hollywood's Secret Heroes: The Stars Who Give in Silence." The piece praised unnamed celebrities who donated time and money without publicity. It quoted hospital staff and charity organizers about the impact of these gifts. Keanu's name never appeared, but those who knew could read between the lines. That evening, Keanu read the article in his living room while Sam made coffee in the kitchen. "How did you know this would work?" Keanu asked. Sam brought 2 mugs to the coffee table and sat down. "I didn't. But I knew that Alan Porter had a sister with a serious illness. I thought meeting Lily might remind him that there are real people behind these stories, that what seems like just gossip can affect lives." Keanu nodded slowly. "You saw the person behind the threat." "I learned that from you," Sam said honestly. 7 years of watching you treat everyone with respect. Hey, Rubs. Off. Keanu smiled slightly. Thank you for protecting my privacy, Sam. Not just from reporters, but from having to deal with this myself. The following day, a package arrived for Sam at the office. Inside was a rare first edition book of poetry. The inscription read, "To the Guardian of Gates, with gratitude." The crisis had been averted, but it had taken a toll on Sam. For 3 days he had barely slept. Working tirelessly to protect Keanu's privacy and dignity, he had called in favors, made deals, and stretched his network to its limits. He had succeeded, but the experience left him thinking about how fragile privacy could be in the digital age. What Sam didn't know then was that this crisis, though resolve, would plant the seeds for a difficult decision he would soon face. In protecting Keanu from painful exposure, Sam had been reminded of his own family, his own responsibilities, and the price of living in the shadow of someone else's life. The call came on a rainy Tuesday in January 2016. Sam was sitting in Keanu's trailer on the set of John Wick, Chapter 2, organizing the next day's schedule. His personal phone rang, displaying his sister's number. "Hey Diane, what's up?" Answered, expecting their usual weekly chat. His sister's voice was shaky. "It's Dad. He fell this morning. The doctors say it's Parkinson's disease. They've suspected it for a while, but now they're certain." Sam felt the world shift under him. His father, Jack Donovan, had always been strong and independent, a retired carpenter who still built furniture in his garage workshop in Portland. The idea of him falling, of his body betraying him, was hard to process. "How bad is it?" Sam asked, his throat tight. "Early stages, but progressing faster than they'd like." "He's going to need help, Sam. Regular help." Diane paused. "I'm doing what I can, but with the kids and my job..." "I understand," Sam said. "Let me figure some things out. I'll call you back tonight." After hanging up, Sam sat quietly, staring at the wall of the trailer. For the first time in his 8 years with Keanu, he felt torn between his job and his family. His father needed him. Portland needed him. But his life was here in Los Angeles, managing the 1,000 details of Keanu's career and personal life. That evening, Sam waited until filming wrapped before approaching Keanu. They walked to the parking lot together, the night air cool around them. "Something's on your mind," Keanu said. It wasn't a question. After 8 years, he could read Sam's moods easily. "My father's been diagnosed with Parkinson's," Sam said simply. "It's progressing quickly. He's going to need care." Keanu stopped walking. "I'm sorry to hear that, Sam. Is there anything I can do?" Sam took a deep breath. "I need to go home to Portland, not just for a visit. I think I need to move back." The words hung in the air between them. 8 years of partnership, of early mornings and late nights, of shared secrets and quiet understandings, all coming to an end with one sentence. Keanu nodded slowly. "Family comes first. Always." "I don't want to leave you without support," Sam added quickly. "I can help find a replacement, train them, make sure the transition is smooth." "When do you need to go?" "My dad's still independent enough that I have sometime, maybe a month, to get everything in order." Keanu put a hand on Sam's shoulder. "Take whatever time you need. We'll figure it out." Over the next few weeks, Sam worked harder than ever. During the day, he maintained his regular duties. For Keanu at night, he created detailed documents about every aspect of his job. He wrote down Keanu's preferences, from how he liked his coffee black. No sugar, to which interview questions made him uncomfortable, anything about past relationships. He noted which charities Keanu supported anonymously and how those donations were arranged. He listed the names of trusted security personnel, publicists, and drivers. Sam also began the search for his replacement. He interviewed dozens of candidates, looking for someone with the right combination of discretion, efficiency, and empathy. He found Lisa Martinez, a former military logistics officer with a calm demeanor and sharp mind. "The most important thing in this job isn't managing schedules or handling media," Sam told her during their final interview. "It's creating space for Keanu to just be a person, not a celebrity. To protect his humanity in a world that often tries to take it away." "Lisa," nodded, understanding. In the military, I learned that true service isn't about following orders. It's about anticipating needs and solving problems before they become problems. Sam knew he had found the right person. Training Lisa took 2 weeks. Sam introduced her to Keanu's team, showed her the systems he had created, and walked her through typical days. Keanu was polite, but distant with Lisa at first. Sam understood why. After 8 years of working closely with someone, trusting a new person didn't come easily. Give him time, Sam advised Lisa. He's private by nature. But once he trusts you, he's the most loyal person you'll ever work for. During this transition period, Sam was surprised when Keanu asked him to come to a meeting with his financial advisor and lawyer. At the meeting, Keanu arranged for Sam's father to receive specialized medical care from a top Parkinson's specialist. When Sam protested that his family couldn't afford such care, Keanu waved away his concerns. Your father's insurance will cover what it can, Keanu said. I'll handle the rest. No arguments. Sam's last day came faster than he expected. His apartment was packed, his car loaded for the drive to Portland. He met Keanu at his home to say goodbye. Keanu's house was simple by Hollywood standards. No mansion, no grand entrance, just a comfortable private space that reflected his personality. They sat on the back porch, watching the sunset. I made you something, Keanu said, handing Sam a small wooden box. Inside was a detailed manual bound in leather. The cover read simply, The Book of Keanu. Opened it to find Keanu's handwriting. Filling the pages, there were notes about his thoughts on different roles, his motorcycle maintenance preferences, even his favorite takeout orders. The final page had just one line. Remember that kindness is always the correct response. I thought Lisa might need this, Keanu said with a small smile. Guide to working with me. This is... Sam was at a loss for words. It was such a thoughtful gesture, especially from someone as private as Keanu. And this is for you, Keanu added, handing Sam a set of keys. Sam looked confused until Keanu led him to the garage. There stood a custom motorcycle, sleek and black, with silver trim. You can't drive to Portland in that compact car of yours, Keanu said. Not when you could ride instead. Sam stared at the bike, then at Keanu. I can't accept this. It's too much. 8 years, Sam. No vacations, no sick days, available 24/7. Keanu shrugged. Consider it back pay for all the overtime. That evening, as Sam prepared to leave, Keanu made one more promise. There will always be a place for you here if you ever want to come back. They didn't hug or get emotional. It wasn't their way. Just a handshake, a nod of mutual respect, an understanding that went beyond words. The next morning, Sam rode the motorcycle north, toward Portland and his father. He and Keanu had arranged a secure messaging system for occasional contact. Birthday wishes, holiday greetings, and updates about his father's condition. Otherwise, their professional relationship was over. Sam settled into a quieter life in Portland, found a job managing a local bookstore, which gave him the flexibility to help care for his father. Sometimes when he saw Keanu in a new movie, or spotted him in the news, he would smile to himself at the inaccuracies in the reporting. The public thought they knew Keanu Reeves, but they only saw what he allowed them to see. The real man, thoughtful, kind, fiercely private, remained hidden behind the carefully maintained wall that Sam had helped build, and that Lisa now maintained. Sam had gone from being the shadow to having a life in the sun. But he never regretted his years of service, or did he ever betray the trust Keanu had placed in him. What Sam didn't know was that their story wasn't over. It was merely entering a new chapter, one that would unfold in ways neither of them could predict. 7 years passed quietly for Sam Donovan in Portland. By January 2023, his life had settled into a comfortable routine. He managed the bookstore 6 days a week. On Sundays, he took his father to physical therapy, then they would have lunch at a small diner near the clinic. Jack Donovan's Parkinson's had progressed, but the specialized treatment Keanu had arranged had slowed the disease considerably. Sam rarely thought about his Hollywood days anymore. Occasionally, a customer would mention a Keanu Reeves movie, and Sam would smile politely without revealing his connection. The privacy habits of 8 years as the Shadow were hard to break. Only his family knew about his former employer, and they respected his wishes not to discuss it. Sam still rode the motorcycle Keanu had given him, though less often now that he was approaching 40. His hair had a touch of gray at the temples, and reading glasses hung from a cord around his neck at the bookstore. The fast-paced world of celebrity seemed like a distant dream. On a rainy Tuesday morning, Sam was arranging a new display of mystery novels when his phone buzzed with a text. From Diane, "Have you seen Reddit today?" Sam frowned. His sister knew he didn't use social media. He texted back, "No, why?" Her response was immediate. "Someone posted about Keanu and mentioned someone named Sam. It's going viral." Sam's heart raced. He stepped into the back office and searched on the store computer. He found the post immediately. It had already been shared thousands of times across multiple platforms. The post described an encounter in Seattle from the previous weekend. A Reddit user claimed they had witnessed Keanu Reeves talking with a homeless man for over an hour outside a coffee shop. According to the post, Keanu had given the man money, then made a phone call to someone named Sam, asking them to arrange temporary housing for the man. "It was the most genuine act of kindness I've ever seen," the post read. He didn't know anyone was watching. He spent time listening to this man's story, then quietly helped him. "When he called this Sam person, I overheard him say something. Just like we used to do in LA, who is Sam, someone who helped Keanu with his charity work." Comments had flooded in. Some people recalled other stories of Keanu's kindness. Others speculated about the mysterious Sam. A few even connected the dots to Sam Donovan, though they had the details wrong, claiming he was Keanu's bodyguard or driver rather than his personal assistant. Sam closed the browser and sat back. In his chair, he wasn't surprised that Keanu was still helping people quietly. That was who he was. But he was surprised that someone had witnessed it and shared the story online. And he was even more surprised that his name had been mentioned. Evening, Sam received another message, this one from Lisa Martinez, who still worked for Keanu. "Heads up," her text read. "Reporters are asking questions about the Seattle incident. They're trying to find Sam. Keanu wanted you to know." 2 days later, the first email arrived from Emma Wells, a reporter at an online entertainment site called Spotlight. "Mr. Donovan," she wrote, "I believe you worked as Keanu Reeves' personal assistant from 2008 to 2016. I'm writing a story about Mr. Reeves' charitable work and would like to speak with you. Your insights would add considerable depth to the piece." Sam didn't respond. 2 more emails followed, each more persistent than the last. Then came a phone call to the bookstore. "Highland Books," Sam answered. "Mr. Donovan, this is Emma Wells. From Spotlight. I was hoping to speak with you about Keanu Reeves." Sam's grip tightened on the phone. "I'm sorry, but I don't give interviews about former employers." "I understand your discretion," Emma said quickly. "But this isn't a typical celebrity story. We're focusing on Mr. Reeves' charitable work that has inspired many people. The world could use more positive stories right now." "I appreciate that," Sam replied, "but my answer is still no." After hanging up, Sam called the secure number he still had for Keanu. They spoke only a few times a year. Usually brief catch-ups about Sam's father or Keanu's latest projects. "They found me," Sam said when Keanu answered. "I heard," Keanu replied. "Lisa told me. I'm sorry about that. Not your fault." "But what do you want me to do?" They're persistent. There was a long pause on the line. "What do you want to do?" Keanu asked finally. Sam thought about it. For 15 years, he had helped keep Keanu's private life private. He had protected his boss's generosity from becoming publicity stunts or photo opportunities. But now some of that story was already out there, spreading across the internet with or without his input. "Maybe one interview," Sam said slowly, "just to make sure they get the story right. No personal details, nothing you wouldn't want shared. But something about the philosophy behind the giving, the idea that kindness matters more than recognition." "Trust your judgment," Keanu said, echoing the words he had spoken years ago during the tabloid crisis. "Whatever you decide is fine with me." The next day, Sam called Emma Wells and agreed to a single interview with strict conditions. No questions about Keanu's personal life. No details about specific donations without prior approval, and Sam would have final review of the article. Before publication, they met at a small coffee shop near the bookstore. Emma was younger than Sam expected, maybe 30, with bright eyes and a notebook full of questions. For 2 hours, Sam carefully shared stories that illustrated Keanu's philosophy of quiet giving. He talked about anonymous donations to children's hospitals, about visits to sick fans with no cameras allowed, about Keanu's habit of treating every person from directors to janitors with the same respect. He never wanted recognition, Sam explained. He believed that doing good things publicly often corrupts the act itself. When cameras are watching, it's easy for charity to become performance. But don't you think his example could inspire others? Emma asked. Sam smiled. That's why I'm talking to you now. Not to reveal secrets, but to confirm what many have already suspected, that it's possible to be successful and kind, to be famous and still human. When the article was published a week later, it crashed Spotlight servers, titled "The Man Behind the Myth, 15 Years with Keanu Reeves." It painted a portrait of an actor who lived his values off camera as well as on. The story revealed no deeply personal details, but offered glimpses of everyday kindness. Keanu giving up his seat on the subway, spending hours with janitorial staff on film sets, maintaining a foundation that never bore his name. Within hours, the article was shared millions of times. Other news outlets picked it up, reaching out to both Sam and Spotlight for follow-up interviews. Sam declined them all, sticking to his promise of one interview only. 3 days after the article went viral, Keanu called. "You did good, Sam." He said the piece was ... respectful. "I tried to honor your privacy while still telling the truth," Sam replied. "I've been offered 3 movie roles since it came out," Keanu said with a hint of amusement in his voice. "Apparently people want to work with the nicest guy in Hollywood even more now." Sam laughed. "Just don't let it go to your head." The weeks that followed, Sam received dozens of offers. Book deals, documentary interviews, speaking engagements. He turned them all down. The bookstore saw an uptick in customers, some hoping to meet the man who had worked with Keanu Reeves. Sam treated them politely, but deflected. Personal questions. When a persistent reporter cornered him outside the store and asked why he wouldn't capitalize on his experiences, Sam simply replied, "I already received the most valuable payment. I learned how to live with kindness from a master of the art." On a quiet Sunday 6 months after the article, Sam took his father to their usual diner for lunch after physical therapy. As they ate, Jack looked up from his plate. "You miss it sometimes?" "Don't you?" he asked. The excitement of that life. Sam considered the question. "Sometimes," he admitted. "But I don't regret leaving because of me." His father looked concerned. "No," Sam said honestly. "Because this is where I'm supposed to be now." Every job teaches you something if you pay attention. Working with Keanu taught me that the most important things happen in the quiet moments, not in the spotlight. As they left the diner, Sam's phone buzzed with a text message. It was from Keanu, with a photo attached. The picture showed a motorcycle parked in front of a "Welcome to Portland" sign. The message read, "In town for a few days. Ride tomorrow morning?" Sam smiled and texted back, "Same meeting spot as last time?" The reply came quickly. 6 a.m. Don't be late, Shadow. Some stories aren't meant to go viral. Some connections aren't meant for public consumption. Even the most private tales find their way into the light, revealing not just the famous names involved, but the quiet humanity that connects us all.